A third-party advertising company apparently created these ads for a Ford car that's sold in India. It's known as the Figo. And it's getting a lot of criticism because it basically features violence against women. In one of the ads, former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi has 3 women tied up in the back. And they're in bondage, as one article puts it. And apparently the whole theme of this ad campaign is leave your worries behind with the Figo's extra large boot. So there's that. There was another ad that featured Paris Hilton driving the car, and the Kardashian sisters were tied up in the trunk. There it is. So look, the reason why this is getting a lot of criticism in India specifically is because of the fact that one of their big national headlines, in fact it's an international headline, had to do with a young woman who was raped and killed on a bus. And so there have been a lot of protests about the way women are treated in India. So to have this kind of ad get leaked looks really, really bad for a company.
Right. Now, so given the context of India, it's disastrous. Like if it was more playful in a different part of the world that didn't have those issues, maybe, but even then you're really running a risk, etc. But I don't mind advertisers taking risks from time to time. But in this case, not guilty, not guilty. Why? Not because it's not insensitive. It's because Ford never ran it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had run it, it'd be a different story, but maybe we should give them credit for not running it because they had the good sense to not run it.
So the details of how these ads got out in the first place, it's very sketchy. We don't really know how it all happened. All we know is that JWT India, which is an advertising firm, created these ads. They never used it for commercial use. It was never in any print publication or anything like that. However, somehow the ads ended up on a website called adsoftheworld.com, and that's when people became up in arms about it.
And by the way, there's also, one of the ads was Michael Schumacher abducting his male competitors, so the other racers. So it's not just against women. So you can say it's a bad idea. You could say that it took too much of a risk. Certainly in India, it's a bad idea within the context, no question about it. But nobody ever ran it. So, and now everybody's getting all over Ford, and Ford is apologizing, but I don't know what they have to apologize for since it wasn't theirs. And meanwhile, of course, the advertising agency, JW India, is like, oh, the people who did this have been taken care of. I was like, oh man, how many people got fired there? Like, they probably cleared out like 17 people just in case. The chaiwala got fired. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's my guess. Okay, all right, enough people being fired over the ads. It never ran.
It never ran. Also, I mean, do you think that anyone should be in trouble for even coming up with the idea?
Hell no.
Really?
No, and I'll tell you why. Look, in the creative process, and advertising is creative, believe it or not. Of course it is, yeah. Right? How do you reach people in all these different ways? There's a lot of stuff you come up with that you never use. Has anybody ever been in a TYT production meeting?
I was thinking about that right now.
Have you ever seen TYT Underground? But there's a reason why we don't use 80% of the stuff I said, okay? Because we're goofing around and we're throwing out ideas. Oftentimes with the master graphics or banners, etc., I'll throw out ideas that make no sense whatsoever because I'm trying to stimulate people into coming up with ideas that do make sense that are related to them.
Right, that's what you're doing, yeah.
That's what I'm doing. And so what, you're going to take one of those and go, that's it, that's what they put on air. But no, you see, that's what we didn't put on air.